Thank you for coming to our church online website. We want to share with you what we are doing as a church and where we see ourselves going. So what we want to do is kind of share what this story has been like. We all know that COVID happened, that we stopped gathering as a church, and that we've been trying to wrestle with what does our church look like going forward.
One of the things we could do, of course, is just lament and grieve what we've lost. But we thought it was a way better question to ask is like, what can we do now? And not to just view all of the changes that have taken place as problems or barriers, but to view them as opportunities and to say, what could we do now that would take into account like who we are, our deepest held values, the history that God has worked in us, and how could we go forward from there in new and different ways. We decided to gather the leaders of the church together, and we met over 2 days, had extensive meetings, wrestling with where should we go and how in the world would we get there. And we came up with something that I think is a beautiful summary of the future we can envision. It's all around a phrase, a community of communities. We are a community. The building blocks of that community will be smaller communities that meet, that live lives together, that aren't confined to a particular time and place only, a community where life can happen, where discipleship can take place.
And that in these spaces, we can have leaders living out their gifts, skills, and abilities, where we can have young and old gather in a space where all are welcome, all can connect, all can contribute, and that we see that these little communities that we're hoping to see grow and flourish over the next years is a spot that we really believe our church is uniquely gifted to be. And so being a community of communities, we have a plan going forward, which we will be communicating in a bunch of different ways. One's going to be a longer video than this, where we have some of the leaders that dreamt this up and listened to God on this, share what really excites them. We are going to have a little visual document that allows you to kind of see the timeline plan of how we see this as achievable over the next little bit. And we're also going to have this done in writing. So if you're one of the people that just love to read a good paragraph, we have that coming for you too. But what this means is that we also have a clear plan for the next 2 months. In the next 2 months, we encourage people to rest because we've just gone through a flurry of activities. We encourage you to connect in ways that it's possible, whether it's a small backyard gathering or whether it's just over the phone. We want to encourage people to obey the health conditions, rules, regulations, but also to dream about how does being a part of a community start happening now over the summer. And so what that also means is that we are looking at re-entering in our building will be September. We will need 2 teams before that's even possible. One is a tech team if you want to get involved. The other one is a cleaning and setup team. But we set off this date, 1, because it's really hot in the building. We don't have AC. 2, coming back to a worship gathering isn't going to be the same as we think it is. And 3, this is a season of rest where we could get really, really busy trying to reorient our larger gathering and then get into September and be so tired that we don't have the ability to really do what we feel God is calling us to be and to do. And so we encourage you to check out some of this other material. If you have questions, absolutely reach out to John or myself. But we are so excited about what God is doing in our lives as Stanley Park Community Church. And we really believe that taking a season of rest, taking a season to connect and to grow, and to step into a launch of being a community of communities in September, where we have the ability to use the building towards that end, is really exciting. And we ask that you join us on this journey.